Welcome to the Yoga Teacher Circle podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Ray. Yoga teacher, you are needed now more than ever, and your unique voice, message, and offering needs to be shared with the world. In this podcast, we'll talk about all things related to teaching yoga to help you thrive doing what you love most, teaching yoga. So let's dive in. Yoga Teacher Circle family. Okay, if you're listening to this episode and you have not listened to last week's episode yet, hit pause on this and go back to part 1 of closing 2020, entering 2021 with a clear vision. It is so important to take the time to reflect on where you have been before getting clear on where you want to go. In this episode, I covered different journal prompts to get clear on what you want to create and attract into your life in 2021. I hope you enjoy this time dropping deep into yourself as you manifest an epic year ahead. Now let's dive into intentions for the new year. Intentions to enter into 2021 with clarity to create an epic year for yourself. An epic conscious year that you get to choose, you get to create. The first thing that I invite you to do is to create a word for the year. So this word is something that you can always come back to when you feel disconnected from yourself, your vision, your purpose maybe. Maybe you feel overwhelmed or unsure. Maybe your limiting beliefs and insecurities are getting really loud. Or it's simply just to come back to as an overall focus for yourself and for the year. My example is my word that I chose for 2021 is trust. Trust. And this is such a big word for me right now, and I can feel into my whole next year because what I've really been working on is trusting myself, trusting my path, trusting my journey, trusting how everything is unfolding at the perfect time. So that looks like being patient and not rushing, not forcing things. That looks like just allowing life to unfold and to trust the entire process. So when I get heady or I get overwhelmed, I just come back to the trust. I come back to I trust myself, I trust my decision making, and I trust how everything is happening. And when you choose a word for yourself, maybe one already popped in right away, right away, this is my word. And maybe you're not sure yet, and either one's okay. If you aren't sure yet, sit with it, let it simmer, meditate, ask yourself, what do I need? And come from a space that's grounded. Maybe you journal everything we're about to go over first, and then you can look back and say, what's the common theme here? What's the common theme here, and what do I want to attract overall? So I have 3 specific areas that I go into detail with for what I want to create and manifest in the new year. And the 3 areas are personal, career/work fits into one, and financial. When we look at these 3 areas in our lives, it's important to take the time to focus on what you want to create within them. So as you ask yourself these questions and really sit with them for each category, each umbrella, each area, the questions that you look at and you ask yourself are, what do I want? What do I want to create? What do I want to experience in life? How do I want to feel? What do I want to feel? And what do I need? All right, we're starting with personal. So under personal, we're looking at a few different things. So I use this as an umbrella. And we're looking at health, relationships, love, and energy. Health, relationships, love, and energy all fit under personal. So things that you ask yourself, and you can look at different examples, and I always just fill in the blanks. Do you want to shift something in the way you feel physically, emotionally, and energetically? What do you want to shift in the way that you feel? Do you want to dedicate more time to moving your body, or eating more nourishing foods, or shifting the kind of food that you put into your body? So if you know me, I am not a fan of counting calories, of tracking things. I used to be really obsessed with the way that I ate, and so it was really unhealthy, and I had just an unhealthy relationship to food. So now in my life, I am more about intuitive eating. So I don't look at like diets, and I don't personally like the diet talk. So I look at like, how can I nourish my body better? What foods are gonna help me raise my vibration? How can I treat my body better? Okay, another one to look at. Do you want to attract new friendships into your life that are more uplifting and positive? Do you want to expand your circle of friends? Deepen your relationships? Do you want to attract a conscious partnership, maybe an intimate romantic partnership? Or if you are already in a relationship, do you want to strengthen it or deepen it or try something new within that relationship? How do you want to feel when you wake up every day? How do you want to feel when you wake up every day? You get to choose this, actually. This is up to you to choose. So examples, do you want to feel grounded, calm, centered, open, expansive, energized, confident, radiant? How do you want to show up in your life? Are you committing to being all in? Are you going to let life happen to you? Do you want to create it yourself? They're all okay. It's just a choice. So how do you want to show up? What kind of energy do you want to give to others? How do you want to be with others in your life? And the last one I like to look at is, what kind of energy do you want to receive from others? How are you choosing to allow yourself to be treated by others? Hey, yoga teacher. So we all know it's been a really chaotic, crazy, and challenging time for everyone, and the world needs you now more than ever. I'd love for you to join me in my upcoming online trauma-informed yoga teacher training, February 20th and 21st. I believe every yoga teacher should have an understanding of trauma and how it impacts the mind and body. Every single person has experienced some form of trauma in their life, which means your students show up to yoga knowingly or unknowingly with trauma, PTSD, and chronic stress. Understanding how to teach yoga with a trauma-informed lens can only help you better serve your students, your clients, and your community. This training is held online, which means you can join in from anywhere in the world from the comfort of your own home. Register and secure your spot on my website at taylorrayyoga.com. Now, back to the episode. Now I want to move into the second category, the second umbrella, which is career/work. So first of all, take a moment to observe if you are doing the work that you want to be doing. And if not, that's okay. Don't judge yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Don't create stories around it, but just simply look at it and notice and just be honest with yourself. Am I doing the work I want to be doing? And if not, why? Why am I not? Just asking yourself that simple question. Looking at what steps you need to take towards doing the work that you do want to be doing, okay? If you want to shift the work you're doing. So looking at, well, what do I want to create within my work? Think of everything. Do you want to launch a new program or an event? So I know that we're all yoga teachers. We're here listening to this podcast or in this Facebook group. Most likely you're a yoga teacher, or you will be soon. Maybe you're in YTT. So looking at, do you want to create a program or an event, or you're a brand new teacher and you want to get hired at a yoga studio? That's huge. That's exciting. Maybe you want to get your first private yoga client or raise your rates for your private yoga clients. Do you want to start an email newsletter list? Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Do you want to create and design a website if you don't have one yet? Maybe you want to leave working for a yoga studio and become your own business owner, your own yoga business owner, as I call yogipreneur. I like to get super clear on all of the programs that I want to run in the upcoming year. So like my next year is like basically planned out. Maybe not the exact dates for the second half of the year, but I know that I'll have a 200-hour YTT in the fall, and I know that I'll set the dates at some point, and I know I'll have a restorative YTT in the fall, and I'll set the dates, things like that. But I set up the entire year because it's going to happen. And when you set that in stone, you write it out, you lay it out, you're expressing to the universe, like, this is happening. And you're not, maybe inside you might be questioning yourself, but it's kind of that fake it till you make it also. Like, I'm going to write it all out because, like, this is happening. This is my year. I will make it happen. So I look at the goals I write down. How many people do I want to have in each program? How much do I want to earn from each program? Goals for my podcast, goals for growing this Facebook group and community, goals for attracting people that are aligned into my community. So it's not all just the financial or the tangible, like how many people do I want? What program do I want? But I'm looking at, well, who do I want to be a part of it? What kind of energies do I want in my community, in my trainings? Because that's the most important thing to me, is to attract aligned people that are open to the work I share and that show up ready to do it in a really loving, safe, supported, compassionate way. So really take the time to get as detailed and as clear as possible when you look at your work. So diving into the last umbrella, the last area, which is financial. Financial goals. So what financial goals do you have for yourself for 2021? And this can look like, how much do you want to make in the year? You can get more detailed. It can kind of fluctuate back and forth between the work and career. Sometimes in that I put in how much do I want to make from each program, but you can also put that in this category. How much do you want to save? Maybe you want to invest into something new. Maybe you want to grow in your investments. You want to start a new savings account. Maybe you want to save up for something like a big trip, a new car, a new house. Really getting detailed with all the areas in your life that finances are connected to. And this also looks at your mindset around money. So what kind of money mindset do you want to have? Do you want to have one that is attracting abundance and trusts that you're always taken care of? Maybe you've been really stuck in a scarcity mindset and a lack mindset, so you've been holding on to money. I don't know. That's up to you to decide. Do you want to shift that, right? So where can we grow our money mindset and the relationship we have with money? So I've done an episode on this. I forget what number episode. You'll have to go back, but it's a 2-part. A money mindset episode. So we create meaning around money, but it's actually just neutral. So really taking time, and maybe you go back and listen to that episode before you go into this section in your intentions. If you don't consciously choose your mindset, you will always go back to your default mode and your money stories that you've been stuck in that maybe aren't even yours. Maybe you picked up from your family, your friends, the way you were raised. So it really does take conscious work to shift our money mindset and our money story. And it's hard work, for sure. So here are some energetic money financial goals that I set for myself for the new year, beyond my actual financial goals of how much I want to make, how much I want to save. So these are more the energetics. I am a conduit for money to flow through. And I use money as a tool to design and create my ideal life, my dreams, and my vision. So that's one that I've been working with and that I will carry over into the new year. Another one for myself is I pay others what they deserve, what they are worth, and what they ask for. It's important to me to pay others. I want to pay other people, and I have a team of teachers that work with me. I have a virtual assistant. So at this point, I am growing and expanding, and I'm starting to pay people for their time, their work, and the way that they help me, and I want to pay them. I attract students and clients who want to pay me. They are stoked to pay me what I'm worth and what I ask for. This one's super important too, because I honestly only want to attract people that do want to pay me at this point. And I remember when I first started growing my business, I remember having more of a scarcity mindset, and I would give a lot of discounts. I would try to do a lot of promotions, and I was really attracting people that only wanted to pay less than what I was asking for. that didn't feel good. And I started to grow, and then I started to attract people that were like stoked to pay me what I asked. And that working relationship was actually incredible, and it felt so much better, so much more aligned. So that's something that I do want to attract for myself. So starting to close this conversation out, what has to happen for you to achieve your dreams and goals this coming year? What actions do you need to take to achieve this, to make this happen? It's one thing to just visualize, to dream it, but like we've got to take aligned, inspired action to actually make it happen. If you're waiting for your goals and your dreams to happen without taking that action and without shifting your energy and your mindset around, you'll end up waiting either a really long time or forever. And that's not a good feeling. So I ask yourself, what mindset shifts do you need to make? What do you have to shift about the way you think, feel, believe to grow into this vision of yours? Do you need to meditate more? Do you need to go to therapy? Do you need to hire a business coach or a mentor? Do you need to go into deep energy work to shift your vibration? Do you need to release certain people from your life? Do you need to let go of toxic relationships? So first, take the time to get clear on what it is that you want, and then spend time getting crystal clear on what it's going to take for you to make that actually happen. So you write out all the action steps for each goal. What do I need to do to make this happen? And then you just start doing it. You just show up every day and you just start doing the work. Be sure to spend time grounding yourself, meditating, and really tuning inward as you sit, journal, and reflect on everything I just shared with you. As you reflect on this entire past year in 2020, as you get clear on what you want in 2021, and remember that you have the power within you to create anything that you desire in your life. You have the power to bust through and to break through the stories that you've been carrying, the limiting beliefs that you've been carrying around. You can show up, you can do anything, I promise you, as long as you take aligned action, believe in yourself, trust the journey, trust the process, embrace being messy and uncomfortable, and trust that everything really does unfold as it should. Thank you so much for listening in today. I'd love to stay connected with you in between episodes. You can find me on Instagram at Taylor_Ray Yoga and join the free private Yoga Teacher Circle Facebook group, which is full of some pretty awesome and badass yoga teachers.